Just thought I would do something for the business people on proper pipeline management. Proper pipeline management. You are your pipeline. Uh, if you want to know how your sales year is going to go, you need to look at your pipeline. While movies glorify uh, Bud Fox bagging the elephant and closing Gordon Gecko on the first call, most times business doesn't happen like that. There's a ton of business. And I think someone said that a lot of people buy after the seventh call. And that's what separates the men from the boys in sales is that most salespeople are only going to make so many follow up calls. You got to keep calling. You are your pipeline. I can give you this one. The fortune is in the follow up. I know you see that guy with that wonderful looking woman, and you say he must be a heck of a closer because he must have closed her the first time. Women that pretty don't close on the first try most times. He had to make some follow up calls. I've been married for 31 years to a super wonderful woman. Our first date, she gave me a no call, no show. Now, if I had gone all in on that no call, no show and just crowded her and kept calling her and calling her and calling her, I would have frustrated her and I never probably would have gotten my first date. And that's sometimes what we do with clients. When our pipeline is small, that makes you call the same people over and over again till they're literally sick of you. It also forces you to start closing in a different manner. When the month's almost up and it's time to tally up what your paycheck is, all of a sudden, every customer that comes in the door has a dollar sign on their face if you don't close them today or by tomorrow at 12 o'clock. You would be, there are some that will close a lot of tasks. And that's on the first time. That's the low hanging fruit. But when you're talking about building a sales career, you're only as good as your pipeline. You would sell a completely different way when you know your pipeline's full. And if this person walks out on me, I got someone else to call. If this person comes in, I'm not going to put so much excess pressure on them to close that I only think about my needs and not theirs. Good pipeline management will turn you into a better salesperson. I've known time and again when a customer physically comes in, that's sometimes in B2C, physically comes in and they more, see you with a lot of clients. Sometimes it gets their bang, but it also makes them want to jump on the train. And it can happen even in B2B. When they hear your name is the buzz, all of a sudden more business starts to come to you than you have to hunt for. So I know CRM sometimes can be everybody's bane, but the guy with the biggest pipeline has the greatest advantage. And you may be the best one call closer. When I started in the car business, I started in the car business in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. And that was the first time that they ever had special interest finance rates. GM announced it one day, and there were literally more people than we had salespeople. But in virtually every business, that's not the norm. Every business has the right to have a one-off, a moment where everybody is in delirium to buy your product. But if you want to make a living over and over and over again, you better learn the advantage of having a good pipeline. I worked for one of the best salesmen toe to toe in life, the ultimate gift of gab guy, a guy named Kent Hallam. And Kent told a customer on the close, and I never forgot it. He said that you can skin a cat once. He said, but you can keep shearing them forever. And you got to start being strategic. There's some things from your pipeline. You're going to have those one off the people that close that day. But the greats in business become so because they follow up. They call customers back. They call people that bought from them back. That's the place where I found an incredible amount of business when there's nothing to purchase from you. No, they can't figure a strategic reason that you're calling except that you want to make sure that they're happy. And once they feel that you don't have an ulterior motive, you'd be surprised. Some of them will start making calls for you because you have separated yourself from the average salesperson. Most people that struggle in sales struggle because their pipeline isn't big enough, isn't wide enough. You're trying to make a month off of 3 people. And they're exceptionally good prospects. Maybe they're a purchase lead. Maybe they're a hot lead. But a hot lead that you call too much can go cold on you. If you want to be great in sales, you're going to have a great pipeline. A pipeline that this guy's 2 months off, that guy's 3 months off, that guy's 4 months off. Hey, over and over again, I was trying to figure my way on the last few days of the month. And somebody out of my pipeline for many months before, because I kept up with them, they came in and they made my month. Businesses, business people. Your guys are the best in sales, period. They can close everybody at the drop of a dime. But how much business could you be missing because they're not following up and because they don't keep a pipeline of all of the folks that said that they would buy a year earlier? Guess what? Those folks are in proper position. Maybe they moved up a month or two. Look, and then you see them come right in for those in B2C and sometimes in B2B. The person that you didn't follow up in is the follow up with that you had first access to becomes the record breaking talk of the company deal for another person in sales because you didn't manage them well in your pipeline. You are your pipeline. Let me help you explaining this theory because I think the best pipelines usually lead to the best salespeople. We talk to far too few people. We got to keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking the pipeline with opportunities. And a whole lot of them will go awry, but enough will come out the other side to make you a tremendous living. Have an awesome day.